Hi again, it is Aubrey Gutierrez, and this time I'll be teaching you the quadratic formula. So, the quadratic formula is used to solve for roots or zeros of quadratic equations. Quadratic equations are going to be written like this: ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So, to be able to solve for these equations, you're going to need to use, like I said, the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula is going to be written x equals negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac. All of that is going to be put over to a. Now, using these, let's try doing a practice problem. I'm going to use x squared plus 4x minus 7 equals 14. Now, since the equation is supposed to be equal to 0 and ours isn't, we need to make it 0. In order to do this, we need to subtract 14 from both sides, which gives us x squared plus 4x minus 21 equals 0. Now, to make it easier for me, I usually write down these, so it's better to just plug them in like that. Now we are going to use our quadratic formula. Negative b, which is going to be 4, so it's going to be negative 4 plus or minus the square root b squared, so it's going to be 4 squared minus 4 times a, which is just x, so it's going to be 1, c, which is negative 21, over 2 times 1. Now that we have our quadratic formula, we aren't going to need this anymore. So we can get rid of this so we can have some space to work out the rest. Okay. Now we want to solve for under the radical. So 4 squared is going to be 16. Do not skip a single step. Try your best to work out every step so that you don't get lost along the way. We know 4 times 1 is just 4. So we're going to keep our negative 4 there and times negative 21. So now we have 16, and negative 4 times negative 21 is going to be positive 84. So now we know this is just going to be 100. And then we can rewrite our problem as x equals negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 100 over 2, because 2 times 1 is just 2. Now, whatever you have under here, you're just going to factor it as much as you can, and 100, the square root of 100 is just 10, because 10 times 10 is 100. Now we have our negative 4 plus or minus 10 over 2. We can just divide negative 4 and 10 by 2. So let's go down here. We will have x equals negative 2 plus or minus 5. Because once we divide that, we can just get rid of this. So now we can write it as two equations. Negative 2 plus 5 and negative 2 minus 5. This gives us negative 2 plus 5 is 3, and negative 2 minus 5 is 7. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching.